Diving into this all too important topic, we want to understand these business cycles. Now, obviously, we've got our second lesson, which is going to cover some more cycles. Here, we're going to focus primarily on the revenue, expenditure, and cash cycles. And with these, we want to understand how these processes should work in a company, understand who is involved, the personnel, the automations, the internal controls associated with each, so we know how it should properly function. And as such, if as an auditor we see it not properly functioning, we know what to look for and we know what to catch and we know how to test it. Let's reiterate the point here that I want you to keep all three of what we see here in mind throughout the entire lesson. The three goals of our lessons on these cycles are to make you an expert at differentiating between the different assertions, so understanding the difference between existence, right, and accuracy and valuation. I want to make sure you're an expert also at applying the correct auditing procedure to test each assertion. And also, lastly, understanding the process and flowchart of each cycle. Understanding, the people, personnels, the assertions we need to verify, and what we're going to actually do to test each of those. So keep those all in mind. You want to write it on a nice little note next to your computer or phone or wherever you are. Make sure you are keeping those all in mind as we go through. Starting out here, the revenue cycle, this starts with the sale of a product or service and ends with the recording of the sale in the accounting records. So it's not just as simple as, oh, we sold something, great. Nope, it includes everything to recognize revenue, which includes the salespeople to sell the product and then moving on all the way through to where we eventually record the sale because we can accrue it and we've actually fulfilled our end of the bargain. The expenditure cycle, this starts with the purchase of goods or services and ends with the recording of the purchase in the accounting records. Sounds pretty similar to the revenue cycle. The main purpose here is to ensure that all purchases are properly recorded in the accounting records. And lastly here, the cash cycle, this starts with the receipt of cash and ends with the disbursement of cash. Obviously, it's a very ongoing process, and all these are ongoing processes, but cash is going to come in and out all the time. The main purpose of the cash cycle is to ensure that, similarly, all cash transactions are properly recorded in the accounting records. Now, doesn't seem like maybe anything groundbreaking, but I assure you, oh, it is. As we continue on, you will see how these all work together. Here is a nice graphic of a little table of what we got for all of our different cycles. Obviously, we'll see some of those in the next lesson. Just want to go through them briefly here. The revenue cycle, this includes sales revenues. It includes the accounts receivable department because that's going to be us receiving and ensuring we collect the revenues, the actual cash based on the revenues. We want to make sure that anything we receive is actually legitimately a revenue and recognizing that accordingly. Also, cash receipts. Now, we are going to see overlap, right? You see cash disbursements are involved in the expenditure cycle as well as the cash cycle. We see that cash receipts are involved in the revenue cycle as well as the cash cycle. And, you will see even more similarities as we go through. And that's not incorrect. I mean, it makes sense, right? You got to receive cash. That's part of your cash cycle. And then cash receipts are also going to be a part of your revenue cycle. Included in the cash cycle as well will be receivables and payables because, well, receivables result in cash inflows and payables result in cash outflow. So similarly, expenditure cycle includes payables, purchases, and cash disbursements. And we talked about cash as well. Now, the inventory cycle, this includes perpetual inventory, physical accounts, manufacturing costs. The investment cycle includes anything debt and equity are financing that, and the income received from those investments. And lastly, we'll cover a bunch of other transaction cycles in the next lesson that includes PP&E, payroll, personnel, financing.
Hey there! Are you ready to not only pass your CPA exams, but truly understand and enjoy the material while studying? I know it seems impossible, right? Especially to enjoy the material? We'll do it together. Tap into the power of CPA.examprep.ai, where we've got personalized quizzes, multiple choice questions, memorization guides, flashcards, simulations, all tailored to your learning. Our adaptive study planning puts you on the fastest path to success and lifts you back up if you fall behind. Avoid wasting your precious time and money attempting an exam with a low chance of passing, because who wants that? We want to get you through this process as quick as possible. Our exam readiness prediction lets you walk in with confidence, knowing that you're prepared for success on exam day. Thankfully, there's no payment method needed to get started, so why don't you come join us? Visit cpa.examprep.ai and let's achieve your exam success together.